Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Us. My name is Mariah.
And I am Ian.
And if you joined us last week, we spoke about the honeymoon phase. And this week, we are talking about cooking in the kitchen. Are two cooks too many? I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, we do want to thank our reviewers so far for all of the comments and the messages. We appreciate your support, and it's been really heartfelt to receive all those messages. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already on Spotify and on YouTube, and continue to comment. Let us know what you want us to speak about next.
Yeah, thanks for all the comments. Love the comments about the car. And speaking of which, this weekend already, something new to add.
What?
Yeah, so yesterday somebody had yoga class. Somebody woke up, you woke up on time, but as always, you were
Yes.
slightly in a rush and just parked in the wrong spot and my car got towed.
Okay, I
Just like
was
that.
parked in a fine part. I was a little bit too close to someone's driveway, but I made sure they had more than enough space. You know, they could have just wrote a note. The class was only an hour, and I come outside and I'm like, oh my goodness, the car either gotten stolen or towed.
Mhm.
And I called you, and whew, what a way to start the new year. Like, what is going on?
Seriously. And it's surprising. It's a Saturday. You'd think the weekend would be fine to park
Yeah,
wherever on Washington, in Hoboken, people must know.
yeah.
But hell of a way to start a Saturday. I remember you called me, I could hear it in your voice, and I just knew, like, oh,
You're like,
Jesus. Like,
what
where do we have to go?
happened?
Where am I meeting you? I was about to start power walking, and the place luckily was right here in Union City.
Yeah.
So thank God for that. But
I know. I had to call a friend to quickly get cash because our friends were right on the way to the towing truck, and I had an Uber there, and you were like, "Oh, I'll send you money," and I'm like, "What is that gonna do? Like, I'm not an ATM. I don't have cash. I can't just take cash out." So they were actually on the way to the towing company. So I quickly stopped there, got cash from them, Venmoed them, and then went to the towing spot. They towed my car so fast and I was out so quickly that I had to wait in the freezing cold for an hour for them to get the car back. That was just, I did not want to spend my catto day, as Chickpea would like to say, that way.
yeah, very inconvenient. Very inconvenient. But like you said, at least we had some friends nearby. So at least you were able to stop there on the way, and God bless them. If they're listening
Yeah.
in, they know who they are. Thank you very
Exactly. It's
much.
always
Owe you the
great to
world.
have amazing support system. Shout out to your great friends. Keep them close, and Shanti Shanti, thank you.
And it's times like these you really know who your friends are. When you
Yeah.
have a car breakdown, when you have engine
Hmm.
trouble, all the times I've had battery issues and I've texted all the friends just to see like who's around, who could be there, and some people surprise you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
And of
people
course,
just come
those
out of
things
nowhere.
are
Like I'm there for you. I'll be there in
right.
10, and then other friends just don't even respond. But it.
But for the most part, we have the good ones.
But you remember these things, and in times of need, you know, other way around, you remember to be there for them because
Exactly.
they showed up. They were there. They were your night when you least expected it.
Hmm.
A little bit of cheese on there, but yeah, it's the truth.
So we love supportive friends and family. So shout out to all of you guys who have your
Support
friends
team.
back. Hmm.
Hashtag.
Right. But as I said earlier, we're going to be talking about food, cooking together. Um, Ian and I, our love language is cooking. It's one of them. And food, it just brings us together. Dating, we went on a lot of dates to different restaurants. That's why I love living in this area because there's so many different restaurants in the city and Hoboken and Jersey City. There the options are endless.
It's just
So,
a conglomerate of cultures.
mhm,
That's why the food here is the best. And when we've traveled abroad and even had good Italian food in Italy, we realized like I think we've had better in Jersey. And it's just
yeah,
the luck of being where we are and just being surrounded by all this amazing culture, amazing food, and people
mhm,
just taking those recipes to the next level. Yeah, love it.
exactly.
Honestly, it's the best.
Right.
Yeah.
And I miss all of our dates at the beginning. And I mean, we
Yeah.
still like go on a lot of dates now, but when it comes to food, we cook at home
Hmm.
and our dates are more adventurous or doing something really creative. But at the beginning, obviously, we were going to multiple restaurants and trying new things and figuring out what we both love about food and each other. And dating at the beginning, it was something that you had to get used to with me because I didn't eat meat.
We had different styles, completely different styles of eating.
Yeah, I only ate fish
Hmm.
and chicken, and that took you a really long time to get on board. You're like, oh, well, can you have turkey? I was like, no, I don't eat that. Oh, well, can you have ham? I was like, I don't eat that. Like, oh, but just a little bit won't hurt. And I'm like, sir, this is
I
not
was
gonna
close to
work
converting
if
you.
you don't like, I don't eat meat. Doesn't work. Like, no.
What do you mean you don't eat no meat? Like, good. Everyone eats meat, just not the right kind of meat, of course.
Right?
But no, the early days with us being together, it was a good time. It was an adventure. I remember
Hmm.
just texting you at the end of a workday, just being like, "Hey, I just saw this recipe on Pinterest, or this came across my feed. What do you think? Should we maybe give it a go?" And then I got the
Hmm.
air fryer, at my first apartment, and that was a great time. And yeah, I remember using that. We got into making the wings and everything,
Yeah.
and oh, that was great. But before that, I remember our workday lunches in the city, and early on, you got me excited for good old restaurant week.
Love restaurant week.
That was a good time. I remember you amped it up. I thought it was going to be like 60% off
Yeah.
dinners or
So for
lunches and
those of
everything.
you who
So I was like,
don't
yeah, of
know,
course, let's go during lunch. We were a walk away
yeah,
at
let's
the time, so
explain
that was
what
great.
Restaurant
That was
Week
great.
is. So, Restaurant Week, it happens in the city and sometimes in Jersey too. A bunch of restaurants, they will have a prefix menu that you can go in. It's at a certain price per person. Sometimes they include drinks. And typically it's supposed to be like somewhat cheaper and a wide range of their menus of like their best so that you can test it out, try it out, and then you would come back and try their full menu. So yeah, so as you were saying, I told you during lunch we would go.
And that was a good surprise. We met up, went to the restaurant, and the food was great. I remember we got like a charcuterie board or something like that, couple good drinks. It was lunch, work week, so it didn't go too hard. And then the bill came, and I thought it was going to be slightly more generous because of restaurant week. But I mean, it was like, I was okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Luckily, I really like this woman, so I let this slide, and we just
Yeah, how
had a
much
good
was
lunch.
it for
It
lunch?
was push. It was well over 150, 160, I'd say, which was
For like a
yeah,
quick little lunch
for a
date,
quick
like
little lunch date. Like, hey, restaurant week, great. Like me over here thinking, oh my god, discounted lunch, great food, great restaurants. All combined into this one week. Like, yeah, okay, let's explore some good discounts, good food, but it was just good food.
yeah.
Not disappointed with that part, but yeah,
That was a probably a foreshadow of
hmm
what it would be like dating me,
forever. Yeah, that was an indicator. And then from there, it goes into your restaurant taste,
which I have incredible taste.
which
Every
you
time
do.
we
You
go
do.
out, I am the girl. If you want to go to a new place, I know exactly where to go. I know the vibes. The food will be great. It's not just like a,
At a cost, at a significant
but
cost,
worth it. It's
but worth it.
not like some little trendy place and then you go there and it's terrible. You actually enjoy your meal when you're done. Like when we went to your work, you had a business trip to Costa Rica, and his coworkers wanted to go to a pub. I'm sorry, you guys have been in a hotel room all week. All week you've been in a hotel, eating at the hotel restaurant, the hotel bar. We're in Costa Rica, and they want to go to a pub. We're not in England somewhere. Why are we going to a pub? So I said, absolutely not. Scratch that. I went to the good old Tiki Taki
Hmm.
TikTok and found an incredible restaurant. I can't remember the name right now, but I'll put it down in the subscriptions later. The food was fantastic. The vibes, they were it. The music, great. The drinks, amazing. Everything
You're not
was
wrong there.
hands
The drinks were
down
good.
great.
Drinks were really good.
And the food.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys can go to a pub or you can actually have a decent meal and experience authentic Cuban food. Like, oh, not Cuban. Sorry, we weren't in Cuba. We were in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Yeah. I mean, from your perspective, it does make sense. Like, let's go out, let's experience. For my part, it was more so just like stick with the team. But like you said, I was with them all day during the conference, so I did not mind just leaving them at night just to be with you. And they understood too. Like when we got back, I talked to them in the office. Hey, was that like, like, sorry I left with my wife. She just wanted something new. They're like, totally
Don't
understood.
blame me. And
Totally
that's
understood.
another
I
thing.
didn't say
Why
I
did
would
you
blame you.
even
I would do it. What?
why did you even mention that I was going on this work trip? Like this guy
Because
had
it
a
was
work
fun.
trip and
Everyone there
he
was bringing their
no
significant others.
no one else had their
No, but I'm saying
significant other there.
previously at
I
that
know.
conference they have. So they were just like, go for it. Why not?
They didn't need to know.
It
They did
didn't
not need to
matter.
know. I just wanted to be a fly on the wall. I did not want to meet your coworkers. Nothing against them. They were all great. You guys are all lovely people. But I just wanted to go there, read my book at the pool,
Which you
go on
did.
my excursions, and then when you were done at the very end of the workday, late night, let's just get dinner together. It doesn't have to be a big thing. But he's like, hey guys, meet my wife. Hee hee hee. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Why?
I mean, they loved you.
Oh, I'm glad.
You lit up the room.
I know. But again, like I said, I know how to choose great
That
restaurants.
restaurant was nice. And the thing with you too is you'll find a restaurant based off social media, whatever the hell's trending on TikTok, whatever someone commented on saying this is the best. And it could be 45 to an hour away, and that means nothing to you. When I'm over here, just like, it's already after 9. I'm hungry. There's a dozen places nearby. The hotel has 5 restaurants. Why do we have to go all the way to this place an hour
It's
away that
like
you
going
found on
in
TikTok
Rome.
that's
When are we
trending?
ever going to be here again? Let's
I mean,
go.
like, yeah, but like, I'm hungry now. It's late. Let's just eat. And for you, I feel like it either has to have like a Michelin star or close to it. You just have that taste. And I'm not even gonna get into it, but you do have a friend. And when you two are together, it's like, oh my God, you act like you're on some reality show
What
where
do
it's like,
you
okay,
mean?
hey, how's it going? We're gonna meet up this weekend. Question: how much can we possibly spend on just food? I don't know. Like, let's start off and go to Nobu. Let's get those cocktails. And then I met some guy who stepped off a super yacht and he mentioned a couple places in Tribeca. And I looked it up. Drinks start at $50. Let's go. Let's get there. Let's do it. Like, and
And
I'm
you
over here
always
just like,
enjoy the
wow,
drinks
oh
and
my
you
God,
always
just rolled
enjoy
my
the
ankle.
meal.
I'm staying home. Sorry. Like, oh, it's again,
Listen,
like
it's all about the experience.
at a cost. But no, I get that. I get that. To an extent, I get that.
Well, and that's why we
Comment,
cook at home.
please. Comment.
This is why we cook at home. We have our little food competitions. We're at the beginning of our dating. We used to have competitions with
The
making
chicken wings.
wings.
Yep.
Yes, we would create our like own seasoning. We would marinate it in our own bowls, have like our own style, and then we would make the wings. And then we would like post on Instagram on our
Hmm.
story for people to vote which one they think looks better. And then eventually we would get friends to come over and then try our wings and host our competitions in person. And I just love that. I
That
think
was a
it's
good
so
time.
fun
I
to
think I won pretty much all of them.
I
Three out of
would
four.
not
Three out of
say
four,
all.
I'd say I won.
I wouldn't say all.
Hmm.
I would give it to you
Would-
that you do have the wings.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can make some pretty darn good wings, but I will give you the
Yours aren't
crown
bad.
for
Yours are
that.
good. Yours are good. Give yourself credit. She's not giving herself enough credit. Hers are fantastic, but just
Exactly.
not on my level.
But it was fun having those little competitions and it taught us how to navigate the kitchen and I
Just be
think
creative in the kitchen as well. Because
yeah,
there were times I was like, I'm not going grocery shopping. What do I have in the cabinets to season these wings? What do I have to marinate them with? And I've pulled miracles just
right. And wings,
utilizing
I
what we
think
have.
us making wings has taught you
Mm.
how to season your food. Not saying that you didn't season your food
I've
before,
never
but
had an
like
issue seasoning my food.
now, boy, you know how to season everything. So shout out to you for knowing how to season your food,
I've
baby.
always know what to season. I've just yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, whatever. But
Hmm.
thank you. I'll take that.
Right.
And
But
you recently just opening my world to not marinating to making a good brine. That's
oh
something
yes.
she started doing recently with her
Hmm.
turkey legs, and they were
Turkey
yeah.
legs, whole chicken.
Hmm.
Brining is, if you're not doing it, you need to do it. It's that helps the meat fall right off of the bone. Okay, it's not just seasoning your meat. You need to get it nice and wet, let it stay moist for at least 24 hours. And I guarantee you,
Mm,
nothing about your that bird will be dry. Not a single thing. That
preach.
bird will be moist. I'm telling you. So brine your bird, season it. Seasoning is so important. And yeah,
Brine your bird.
your family will love it.
Words of wisdom.
Exactly.
Amazing. She has a cookbook coming out. You'll find it on Amazon soon.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of cookbooks, I love that your mom has an entire wall full of cookbooks and she
Bon
uses
appetit.
the cookbooks religiously.
Hmm.
Like, I am someone who cannot, I try to follow recipes, but a cookbook, that's really hard for me to like pull it out and actually read the ingredients and do it. I'm more of a visual learner, so I usually get my recipes from Pinterest or from YouTube. I need to like see it, and then I can do it. And like some cookbooks have pictures, but majority of them have just like words. And every time we would go and visit, she has a cookbook out, and
Hmm.
I'm making this or I'm making that, and I'm like, wow, she is the original Nora Smith of of her time.
Well said. Well said.
She is a strong woman, works hard, and still had time to make a meal for her family and like a decent like from scratch. Um, and no offense to my mama, I love you, girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. But my mom does not like to cook. Or she doesn't like going to the grocery store or doing anything like that. And cooking takes time. I always had a home cooked meal. I don't want that to be confused. But your mom loves cooking, and you always had that, right? Like, what was it like growing up for you? What were meals like? Did you guys eat together at a table? Did you not? What were the vibes?
I mean, on and off, just about, depending on her work schedule. But for the most part, she would pre-cook everything. Like for the work week, she would pretty much on like a Sunday night meal prep.
Yeah.
So everything would be made. All we had to do is throw it in the oven once we were home from practice or school and put it on this temperature. And then we were ready to eat come like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then she would sometimes get home late. She would sometimes have recipes for the au pairs to make stuff for us, but most of them sucked at cooking. So we kind of just did it ourselves. And at the same time, too, we also had my grandma who we saw twice a week.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of the stress off her having to cook for us every single night. Like she was
Hmm.
able to have those 2 days where my grandma would take care of that for us, for
Okay.
her. So that was great.
Wait, I love that you brought that up because that is one thing that I love about you and um, dating you. What I really loved was every single week you would have dinner with your grandmother.
Oh, every Monday, every Thursday, like clockwork, all throughout high school, college, middle school, like everything.
Yeah, like
For
it,
yeah,
you,
till her final days almost.
mm-hmm. And if we had a date, like we wouldn't date on those days. Like it's like, nope, I'm gonna go have dinner with my grandma. You can come with me if you want, but like I'm having dinner with her.
Yeah,
And
those were yeah, not changing the schedule for those. I
exactly.
remember back in the day, I would change times hanging out with my friends. I think I changed a few dates if they were at that time. I'd be having dinner. Just no one over my grandma. Grandma
Right.
overall.
So you hear that, men? Have dinner with your grandma. Call her.
Call your
Show her some
grandmas.
love. Send her some flowers, or have dinner with your mama. Take her out. Whatever you want to do. But who taught you how to cook? Was it your mom? Did you cook? Like, did you learn on your own? Like, what was that
It
like?
was a mix of everyone. My mother, my grandmother, even my dad. He used to make really, really good tempura growing up,
Yeah,
and it was
your
rare.
dad
It
can
was it
definitely cook.
was messy as hell, but he was great making it. It was something that he would do on a special occasion almost. And
Yeah.
then with my mother, it was everything. She was fantastic. Even my grandmother, she was both grandmas. My God, everyone was a great cook. The more I really think about it,
And
my
your uncle,
grandfather as
like
well. My
a
uncle,
family of
he's a
chefs.
a barbecue pit master, and everyone in my family. Now, the more I think about it, everyone has a magic touch cooking,
Hmm.
and I can't really owe it to just any single person. Like,
Wow.
just a matter of always being creative, and just the new seasons would come and new meals would be prepped, and just it would just get you excited. Like
Hmm.
you were excited. Like my mother's minestrone in the winter, her watermelon salad during the summer, her chicken pot pie in the fall. I mean, I can go on. Just
Right.
everything. It was just, yeah, honestly, cherish those days.
I grew up with a lot of chefs. Like my both of my grandparents can cook extremely well. My family, they love to eat, you know. They're always doing it big. My dad can cook really well. And when my mom does cook, she does have her meals, you know. But growing up, my mom did not like me cooking in the kitchen. So she loves to keep a clean home. She doesn't have OCD, but she loves to keep a clean home. And yeah, so me cooking in the kitchen was not it. I had to wait until college, and shout out to all of my roommates who allowed me to workshop my meals on them and just try new things. They pretended to enjoy the meals. I don't know. I think I was all right in the kitchen, in the dorm room kitchens back in the day. But
The dorm room kitchen. I can't
oh,
even. God, I made some miserable meals then.
oh my
But I
goodness.
remember just to save money, just making a big bowl of pasta on
Uh-huh.
like a Monday
Yeah.
with like the cheapest marinara you could find at ShopRite, making a big bowl of it,
Yeah.
and that just lasting pretty much the whole work week.
Yeah.
Like that was it. That was my survival meal.
Yeah. I would do the same thing, and I would just like season the like canned pasta sauce.
Hmm.
And what I love about us now, we make all of our sauce.
We do, yeah. We make our own noodles. We make our
Yeah.
own everything
We
with
make our own
pasta. Oh,
noodles because of your amazing mom for the
hmm.
KitchenAid. The KitchenAid is wonderful. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you really do need one. But yeah, we make our own sauce and I absolutely love it. You enjoy your meal more. The more that you make things from scratch, it just makes it 10 times more enjoyable. And I really appreciate that I know how to cook and you know how to cook because we have busy schedules during the week. And thank goodness we can trade off. You know, some couples, only one person knows how to cook, and you have to wait on that person. And what if they're the person who's working all day? And then you have to come home and you're tired, and now you have to cook a meal, or maybe you're home all day with the kids, and then you have to cook a meal for your family. Cooking is a lot. It can be exhausting. It's therapeutic for me, so I do enjoy it. But if you've had a long day and then trying to cook, it can be a lot. So I'm really glad that we have each other to lean on for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good trade off.
Hmm.
Like you said, us both being good in the kitchen, both trusting each other's abilities in the kitchen,
Hmm.
and just being creative. Just both of us sharing recipes, going back and forth. Even though you deny, I'd say like 60% of the recipes I share with you, saying this would be good. What do you think about this?
Because you want to eat things that are like fatty and will add like 10 pounds. And let's talk about
What?
that. Actually, wait, time out. I don't think people talk about the weight you gain when you enter a relationship. And I feel like it's for women because men, you guys stay the same. You stay the same. Or surprise, surprise, you even lose weight. But for women, I feel like it's like the freshman 15 all over again. When you get into a healthy relationship, you gain so much weight because one, you're eating out, two, you're drinking, and then three, when we were cooking together or when you would serve me meals, my plate would be the same size as his plate. And I'm like, sir, you are bigger than me. And then you'll get offended, like, oh, I'm not bigger. I'm like,
I want you to get
you
all
are
the
a foot
nutrition. I want you to
taller
be
than
more than
me.
satisfied.
Like, we do not need the same plate. And then when I won't
You're a grown
finish,
girl.
and when I won't finish the food on my plate, then that becomes my leftovers. And then you won't eat my leftovers. And it's like, well, you're giving me all of this food to begin with, and I don't want it. Like, I am a small person. Please stop feeding me so much. Just give me the portion for me, okay? Like, this is why children have issues because parents aren't giving them the right portion. Okay.
Oh my
I'll talk
goodness.
about it
There
with
it
my
is.
therapist.
There it is. Wow. Okay. Done. Get your little child's plate and fill that up going forward.
Yeah,
A little
please. I'd
saucer
appreciate
plate.
it.
Why not?
Thank you.
Same bowl, same size as Chickpea's plate over there. So I'm going to start feeding you.
I know. Where's our girl? I haven't seen her.
She does not like the food I got her. Look how full it still is.
I know. I'm still convinced that you probably got her beef, and
It's
she's not a
beef. It's
beef girl.
chicken. It's chicken. I know not to get her beef. That's another story.
Whatever. Well, anyway, we cannot cook together. We can help each other out.
We're still
But
learning to coexist in the kitchen.
I don't even know if we should even try.
I don't. I'm not forcing it. I'm not fighting that.
You know, the other day I tried being cutesy and going on TikTok, recording a video of us cooking in the kitchen together because I thought that it would be cute, something to do. And I think it lasted probably like 10 or 15 minutes. Uh, we were going to cook, we were trying to cook baked potato soup together. And I was working on the bacon, and I was chopping up the bacon, and I told you to work on the potatoes. So I said for you to cut the potatoes in cubes and then boil the potatoes. While you're boiling the potatoes, I will be working on the bacon and cooking everything else that needs to go into the pot. So you're doing the potatoes, and I'm doing the bacon. And I have the bacon on a pot on the stove already, but the stove is off, and I just have it on there. And I called you over, and I'm like, "Hey, do
Oh
you
my
want to
god.
look at
I
this
remember this.
bacon? Do you think it's enough, or should I add more?" And you're like, "Oh, definitely add more." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm chopping up the bacon, and then you turn to me, and you're like, "Hey, I'm done with the potatoes. What should I do?" And I was like, "All right, well then put it on the stove and boil it." So I
Mm-mm.
um,
She said, "Put them in the pot.
I said, put it on the
Put them in
stove
the pot," which
and
was
boil
on
it.
the stove.
Put, even so.
But go. But go.
So I'm done chopping up my bacon, and I go to turn around to add the bacon to the pot of bacon. I look, there's no bacon. I don't see a pot of bacon. All I see are the potatoes. So I go to Ian and I'm like, "Hey, have you seen the bacon? Do you know where it is?" And you're like, "No, I don't know. Where is it?" I'm like, "I don't know. It was just here." And we're looking around, and we have a small kitchen. We have a small kitchen. So we're looking around and we cannot find the bacon. As if the bacon like grew legs and just hopped off the stove and like, see ya. So I don't know where the bacon is. Maybe Chickpea
It was
took it,
chickpea. It
you
was
know?
chickpea.
So I'm just staring at the stove, just staring at it as if the bacon will just appear. Um, and then I notice that the potatoes are in the same color pot that the bacon were in. So I turn to Ian and I'm like, "Did you put the potatoes in the pot of the uncooked bacon in the same pot?" "What do you mean? There's bacon in there?" "Yeah, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? There was bacon in the pot. You saw the bacon in there. And then you turned on the stove. And then even so, okay, you didn't even put water into the pot. You have to boil the potatoes. So I was so upset. I was just like, sir, you had one job, boil the potatoes, and you put it in the pot of the bacon. I was like, where was the common sense?
Oh my God.
I am convinced men do not have common sense. All right.
No, no, no,
Tell
no,
me
no, 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 no,
otherwise
no.
in the
This is what
comments because
happens when you make a
what?
meal based off something you find on social media or TikTok. And not to mention, you never shared
Baked
the
potatoes.
restaurant, the instructions with me, the
I told
recipe
you
with
before
me.
we
I
started,
didn't know what we were doing.
boil the
This was your
potatoes.
meal. We were she forgot to mention as well. We were in the middle of DJing that morning, just playing music in
Okay,
the
now he's looking
kitchen,
for
going back and forth.
excuses.
I had my phone out playing whatever I think I had like Incubus going for a hot minute.
So
Shame.
he can't listen to
So
music
I
and
was not
follow
paying attention really to
instructions
what
at
you were
the same
saying.
time.
I did that, and then I was right back to queuing stuff, and then that's when you were just erupted, and I was just like, "Oh my God, okay, yeah, what I do, what I put where." But that's, I mean, if you had shared the
No,
information
no.
beforehand, if I
It's
had
like,
it
let me
in my
think.
hand to look at, okay,
I
start
told you.
off 1 through 5, do this, do this. Oh, boil this, do that. Okay, done. But I wasn't paying attention. I was just, I was in the minute. It was a good morning. I was doing me.
Long story short, do not cook with your partner.
After that moment, we set a new boundary,
No,
and that's that.
done.
That's that.
All
Done. I
right.
was just like, this is what, and that was the first time we tried cooking together in a long time.
Yeah. And it
And
that
that right
reminded me
there, I
why.
would
Because
realize
you
why.
can't.
Like, okay, that's it.
You need to
You do
have
you, I'll do
like
me.
a sous
Mm,
chef or like, like someone who's just like preparing everything
mm,
and
mm,
then
mm.
someone who's just like on the stove, but we cannot mix.
We
You
just
can help like prep or I vice versa. I can help with you prepping, but no one goes to the stove. You
mm-mm,
can't have two people
no.
on it
Mm-mm.
because it doesn't work. And I don't know, maybe it works for you. Let us know in the comments if you can
Tell us
cook
in the
with your
comments.
partner because we cannot. It's a no for me, Bob. But I am
And
very glad that this man knows how to cook and I know how to cook. And
mhm,
I can't wait for our future kids because they will be the real judge of who can cook best.
yes.
I want to
But I
know
will
what they'll
say, when
love.
it comes down to who cooks what best, baking, all desserts,
I
I
can't,
master.
yeah,
She
I
can't do
cannot
anything with that.
cook,
No. Well, actually,
bake to save my life.
the Cinnabons we made like a month, 2 months ago. I don't even know how long ago, but those were good. And
They were
actually,
fun.
we somewhat worked together. Now
We
that
d
I think about it,
Okay, yeah,
like in
that was
in that
smart.
realm, we might
Hmm.
actually have a team. Now that
Yeah.
I think about it, because you listened to me, you did exactly what I told you to, and you did not get in my way. So if we keep that attitude going, sky's the limit. God bless.
Yes, but I think we just need to respect each other in the
Yes,
kitchen
yes,
and like
yes.
respect each other's space in the kitchen.
Hmm.
One person preps and clean, and then the other person cook. Um, that's what works for us.
That works for us. Yeah. And I think somewhat cooking, I think we have the boundary. And then believe it or not, I think maybe cleaning, I think
Yeah,
in general. I think that like you're so much better on your own cleaning. And when I'm there, I feel like anything you find, a hair buried behind the oh my god, behind the
are you
TV
okay, baby?
that's like I almost bit my tongue off right there. If you find like a hair hidden behind the
See, because it's
TV
a lie.
that's been there forever, you're like, Ian, what is this hair doing there? Why is this here? Why how'd you get this here? And I'm just like, I'm done. I'll put the mop down, leave grocery shop, be gone for an hour and a half,
Yeah,
give you the
you are
house.
not
Like
allowed
I
to
don't
be in
need to
the
be
house
there.
when I'm cleaning
Just
because
every little thing you find coming at me.
but besides that, you're actually great at cleaning after we eat.
Hmm.
You always clean up, put away all the dishes
Well,
and
that's the
put the
difference as
food
well.
away.
When I cook, I clean, I put leftovers away.
Okay,
When
we
you
don't
cook,
have to tell me
you
that.
just cook.
I'm
The
sorry.
mess, the leftovers,
I think that's all
everything
the time
left
that we
to
have left for
moi.
today.
So that's
Thank you
part
so much for
two if we get
joining
into
us.
this, okay? Because that's like, oh my god. The other day, I
I,
already had
I
dinner made. I was jumping into a class.
we're still
I already had
going.
dinner made. We were good to go. She comes home from class. Oh, I want to make a sauce to go with the ravioli. So I need to like I need pasta water for the sauce. She dirtied I think 2 pots, 1 pan, and like a bunch of other stuff, all just to make a little sauce for the ravioli. And I of course doing the doing the dishes later, I'm just like, holy hell! Like, where I don't remember dirtying all this making dinner, and then I realized you made the sauce, and I'm like, she just had to. She just had to.
Well, folks, that's all
Well,
we have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you can cook with your partner, because
please.
again, we cannot. But definitely tune in to next week's episode. So, absolutely. Tune in to next week's episode to learn why I left Ian at the airport. I had my reasons.
That's gonna be a good one. More to come next week. I like literally have goosebumps just the thought of talking about that one. But thanks for spending your Wednesday with us on Everyday Us. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, all your foodie friends, and please comment because we need answers to this. Okay? Love
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
Every day, every day, every day.